Are we live?
Yep. There we go. Hey, what's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Star Chasers, Girls Talk Ball. As you know, it's your girl Cravin in the building. And as always, I got my girl Star with me. How you doing tonight, Star?
What's up, everybody? Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Can everybody hear me good? I hope y'all can give me a thumbs up. But really glad to be here. Let's see if I can play a button. Y'all
I love all my friends.
hope y'all can hear that. But anyway, so glad to finally be plugged in. Y'all see, week in out, we just basically trying to upgrade, trying to do our best to bring y'all the best content possible. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Jameson. I think it was Dak on Filthy, Nietzsche. I think that's it for now. I think people are still, oh my God, David. I know guys.
Yeah, David.
Oh, you got Lee Harrison from Facebook.
Yeah, what's up, Lee? What's up, Lee, on the Facebook group? Let me fix my camera, y'all.
So thank you to everybody for rocking with us. We really appreciate you guys and love y'all support. Y'all know without the end, be sure to like the video, also share the video, and also subscribe. I'm happy to announce that I'm only 2 subscribers away from 300. So
Right. Let's talk about it.
On Twitter or wherever you're listening from, Facebook, wherever. I'm still doing the Stargazer sweepstakes. It's close to being closed because I said once I reach 300 subscribers that I will close it and do the raffle. So only need 2 more subscribers. Really appreciate everybody for supporting me here on the screen. What's up, Joe? Yeah, but look up on how to get. I would do it as soon as possible. But like I said, I only have 2 more subscribers needed before I hit 3. All right, but really appreciate y'all. Really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, like Star said, yeah, she's still doing her sweepstakes. Like she said, she's only 2 followers away, y'all, 2 subscribers away on the YouTube side, and that's nothing, y'all. I mean, come on now, it's football season. I mean, I know the Cowboys unfortunately took 2 L's in a row, but that doesn't stop you from subscribing, right? That doesn't stop you from enjoying the content. You're still tuning in, right? So let's just get started 300 subscribers so she can give away this game, so she can give away this free gift card. Don't y'all like free money? Don't y'all want to play? Don't y'all like playing the football game when in your downtime when you have time? Come on, y'all. Come on, let's get to 300 real quick.
Exactly. Help me out, guys. But I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, as I was just kind of alluding to, unfortunately, we come into this week with another L. I mean, the Cowboys, just came out, once again, started slow, the offense started flat. The defense, for whatever reason, once again couldn't get, I would say, couldn't get an effective stop until really late, into mid fourth quarter, late fourth quarter. So, you know, just speaking for myself, and I'm sure other fans possibly could feel the same way. But I mean, I was definitely disappointed. I mean, didn't expect that kind of showing, especially against a team like that. I know the Ravens, and we all knew the Ravens were going to be a tough outing. Especially coming into our house, but just for especially how the Saints win. I mean, we didn't expect the Saints to come in right with that kind of offensive power, and the way the defense was able to kind of stifle us. They just had their guys, and just for the Ravens to be able to come in and kind of beat up on a you know body, if you will, referring to the Cowboys. It just, it's unfortunate, two L's at your home spot that, and I don't even like referring to last year, but that's supposed to be a, kind of a rinsing of, kind of the bad taste we had in our mouths from last season. So to be able to, really three L's and, at our home spot the last three games, it's not something that we want to, that we really don't want to be feeling right now. I'm sure as far as the fans and definitely as far as the players.
Back to, I mean, I, I think when facing the Ravens, that we knew that it was going to be a tough game, and we knew that it was going to be a slugfest, and it was likely going to be two teams that are fighting desperately for a win. You know what I'm saying? The Ravens were consistent enough because they lost us. What's up, Law? Glad to
Hey,
see
what's up, Law? Hey, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through.
you, Law. Yeah,
Keep
look,
up the great work, Law. I know, and it's hard to keep up with everyone doing content, but of course, as usual, you're putting out great content, fam. All the other people you get to work with, just the different avenues that some of us may not be able to see, in our in our lifetime. It's crazy that you bring us this much content, this much commitment, on your part. It's just amazing, just the confirmation that we able to get from through your channel, through Jazz Monet. I know you're out there, with Star during training camp, and we really appreciate your support coming through tonight.
absolutely. Y'all know Law is the go. So I appreciate you, Law. Every time you jump into our chat, it's really special to us, and we appreciate that 100%. But yes, when it was unfortunate, but we knew that it was going to be a hard fought game. I think a lot of people honestly thought that we might have got blown out again. So, and it looked from the first half, it looked like it was trending that way, and then all of a sudden, it's like it looked like we were trending that way, and then like all of a sudden, we just started roaring back. What was the end of the fourth quarter? We just started roaring back. I think like that's what you want to see. That's what you want. That's what I wanted to see. That was one of my keys of victory, right? Because I did a show. I think it was on Saturday. I did a show
Yeah.
that was where I put out my keys to victory, and one of the keys to victory was don't get bullied. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot get bullied. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're gonna beat you, they're gonna have to beat you some other way than just simply out physical you. And I think when I saw the all 22 stuff like that, I have to say that I don't think we got bullied. I think there was some technique things. There's been discussions all over Twitter. Probably some talking about. Say my sound sounded weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounded all right when we were doing the sound check. It's just kind of going in and out. I'm not sure if the music is let me see.
I might just need to turn it up, turn my mic up. I don't know. I'm still playing with my sound, guys, so I don't. I just got to figure it out, figure out the balance of what sounds good and what doesn't. Y'all know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, it sounds clear to me, but is it still sounding wonky to y'all? Uh-oh.
Oh, snap, that's not bad. Let me see. Oh,
Oh,
there you
that,
go.
Okay. Is it still sounding wonky to y'all? Y'all let me know in the chat.
Yeah. Give us a thumbs up if you guys can hear Star in the chat real quick before we
Because
move too far to the content. And also, while you guys are doing that, make sure you hit like. Make sure you guys hit subscribe, guys. Hit the cash app. We're putting in some hard time. Giving you guys content. Some of you are both. Both me and Star putting out a couple shows a week. Definitely grinding, still putting the work in. So hit us up on our cash app, and like we were talking about earlier, just trying to get started, 300 subscribers, kind of give us loves as well.
okay, it says it has a small echo.
So,
I need to turn it down or up. I don't know. What does that sound like?
that sounds better because the volume is fine. Yeah, it's better now. It's just that the volume is fine. It's like every now and then, like how my mic was doing before, it was kind of going like in and out, where like some parts of your sentences you couldn't hear.
Okay.
Yeah, but it does sound
Okay. Does this sound good to y'all?
yeah.
Hopefully. Kind of turn the reverb down and then try to adjust some of my volume is up, but I try to adjust the other level. Still getting used to this mic because it's basically so that like if you're not talking directly in it, you can't hear anything. Y'all feel?
Right,
So
yeah.
probably copy in like the sure mic or whatever, where it's like it's not gonna capture any sound unless you're talking directly.
Yeah.
So I hope y'all can hear me. But let's keep it. But anyway, I forgot what I was just saying. But I think I was just saying, what you say?
I know. Yeah, keep going. We were talking about how we showed up in the Ravens game. Didn't expect to get smacked in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? How some of our players played.
Right. Yeah, we just didn't expect that, but I think oh, that's what I was saying. I was saying when I watched all 22, I really don't think that we got bullied because when I looked at how the linebackers were tackling, when I looked at how the corners were tackling, especially Carson, didn't really have that many tackles, but Kalen Carson, after he missed that tackle on who was that? I think it was Nelson Aguilar. After he missed that tackle, I mean, he was tackling hard the rest of the game. But the linebackers are who really impressed me. You know what I'm saying? That's who really, 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 really impressed me with the physicality. You know what I'm saying? So, and I did a y'all should check it out. I did a video on Mozzie breaking down Mozzie, pretty much all of Mozzie's snaps that are all 22.
Yeah.
So y'all can watch that. Y'all can see how the linebackers were coming in. I mean, the guys were they were going at Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. So I really don't think that like we got bitched out or anything like that. And then clearly you could see how and there's a lot of rumors. Oh, we only could come back because they were playing prevent defense and all this kind of stuff. And that's a lie. They were not playing no prevent defense. Like we were just getting into a rhythm, offensively and defensively. The defense, when you look at the all 22, you're going to be sitting there thinking like, how the hell did Derrick Henry get 150 yards? And it's because like we were limiting, and then boom, he has a big play. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
kind
like
of like how I don't mean to cut you off, but kind of like how Saquon used to do us, right? Like I mean, when he was with the Giants, we would face him. We would stop him. We would stop him like a yard here, a couple yards here, a couple yards there, and all of a sudden, boom, he flashed with a big, 10 yard or maybe 15 or 20 yards, just out of nowhere.
right, exactly. And so that's kind of how Derrick Henry was. It's like you're limiting him. Maybe he'll get 3 yards. He'll get 2 yards. He'll get 4 yards here. And then all of a sudden, there was a huge run that he got. And that's the one with the highlight reel where he's stiff arming Kalen Carson into the earth.
Right.
And that play came from Donovan Wilson playing hero ball. A lot of people focus
Yeah.
on Mozzie because they're like, oh, Mozzie he got pushed out of his gap. But I'm like, yeah, Mozzie got pushed out of his gap a little bit, but he still took up the double team and there were two big ass holes. Excuse my language, but there were two big ass holes. Eric Kendricks filled his, but guess who was also in Eric Kendricks' gap? Donovan Wilson. And so guess what? Guess where Derrick Henry went? To Donovan Wilson's gap. And then he had that huge run. You know what I'm saying? Then
Yeah.
on the down, there's another clip when they were in the red zone where Mozzie got pushed out. Now that play, he kind of got like pushed out of the field, but even so, he got pushed like to the side, and you still had somebody. You had 3 to 4 people. It was really Donovan Wilson's tackle again to make, but he was out there making business. He was out there making business decisions. He did not want to tackle Derrick Henry under any circumstances, and then boom, touchdown. So but
And
I
that
think
was
overall,
just and that was just
so
so bad to see. I mean, a lot of people talk about his box play, and that was just one of the guys who I thought, we're talking about Micah possibly spying Lamar Jackson. Of course, we talked about Overshown doing the same thing, but I'm like, okay, I could see in this particular game, I would just say with Derrick Henry in the backfield, you have a hard hitter like Dono. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, why in the world? I mean, not why when they use him that way, but they use him that way, and to see that, like you said, disappointment. I mean, you already knew he wasn't well. Doesn't do well in coverage, but to see him get spun around. I mean, we saw a similar play by Malik Hooker. I think it was last week versus the Saints, where he just totally spun around. It's like, man, like to see our safeties playing that way is definitely a little discouraging. But like I
yeah,
said, specifically for Donald Wilson, it's like, oh, say something against, because I think it sounds a little bit better.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that sounds
turn the reverb like way down. Or maybe the reverb was too high.
yeah, possibly. Hey, what's up, Kelvin? Yeah, just a little bit of echo. As you guys can see, Stars that's not her new mic, so
Yeah,
just bear with us. I mean, hey, if you guys can hear us,
guys, I'm sorry.
yeah,
So,
give us a shot. Like I said, shout out to Law Nation. Give us some ones in the chat if you can hear us.
is it still echoing? Louis, this is the second best mic that's before the
Right,
other row of my mic. When
you gotta chill, bro. Right, come on, dog.
it comes to like sound mixing, so I don't I gotta figure out, and the only way you do it is like troubleshoot it. Like there's really no
Facts.
that's why you mic check.
Right. Like we talk about the grind of being a content creator. I mean, that's what you go through. I mean, that's why. I mean, what big stadiums and artists do sound checks all the time, and they have blips. Are you at their concert talking about some? Oh, they ain't going good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like you said. The only way to be able to test this out, like Calvin said, just run it. The only way to be able to test it out and see how well it works is just. Hey, you gotta kick it. You gotta kick it with us. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, John Jones? Appreciate you joining us.
I've turned the reverb like the other day, so maybe that's it. I can. I don't. I don't feel like I'm echoing as much in my earphone.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully, it sounds better. It's not echoing like it was before.
Yeah. But to your earlier point as well, talking about the comeback, that's something I wanted to see as well. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, and I was about to watching the game with my pops, like, halfway through the game, halftime, I'm like, bro, like, and I'm not saying I'm like an optimist fan, but I've kind of changed a little bit this year to where I'm like, you know what? I know we have these slow starts. I'm not going to be like, throw my arms up. And just because we're behind, a couple scores, I know these guys can fight back, right? So I just kept thinking, okay, well, if we get the ball, we can outscore. And although we didn't get the ball coming out of half, I figured maybe going into half, these guys can get, maybe something different mentally and be able to come out and be able to get a stop. But even before the half, you just saw it just the collapse, right? I mean, I know everyone's talking about CD, the body language and things like that. Micah, the defense not being able to get a stop, kind of looking upset on the sidelines, and it's like you said earlier, Star, like you don't expect that, but like you said, you love to see the fight coming back because number one, the first half guy, I don't like seeing those guys on the field. I'm saying that the attitude, the discouraging looks on their faces. Like I know, they're still in the game, they're still trying, but it's just when you see like when they're looking deflated in the second quarter, before the halftime, before you had the actual chance to be able to make adjustments, it's like I'm thinking to myself like, don't give up, y'all. Like we keep saying it's early in the season, it's early in the game, like.
Right.
CD specifically. Like if you're gonna like just like last year with it was week 5 with San Fran. Like granted, it was San Fran, so maybe get a little bit more discouraged because so much was put into that game and their quote unquote NFC rivals and things like that. The whole history we already are aware of that, but even here in this situation, it's week 3. It's early in the season. You got to realize you've been out CD. They haven't had you to be able to get that chemistry going with Dak or the rest of the team. You know what I'm saying? And you have like we mentioned earlier, other guys like Turpin, other guys like Tolbert getting involved in the game. Ferguson, thankfully coming back, and although coming back from being out from an injury, he's showing fight. He's getting big plays down the field, and it's just like come on, like bro, we need your input. We need our wide receiver one to be able to set the example. That's what we spoke about last year, right? With Micah, we see Micah, working towards setting that example for building their relationship with these guys, setting the example on the sidelines, like, hey, don't give up. Let's keep talking. Let's still get in the groove of this game. Let's see how we can turn things around. But the other guy who spoke about being a leader, pouting and talking, I won't say talking back, but the attitude we had with Dak and Zach, not just Dak. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talk about Dak and CD on the sideline, but Zach Martin as well, who's known to be, or who's looked at as being a leader in that locker room. And you have two leaders coming to you saying like, hey, get your head in the game. Let's do this, do that. And you come back with this, that, and the third. Of course, we don't know what was said, but we see the body language. It's just like, bro, like you talk about being a leader, and you got two leaders trying to talk to you, and you have attitude.
Right. You're not responding. I don't understand now because I can't hear myself at all in my ear. Does it sound good?
Yeah, I can tell it now. Yeah. You sound low. You sound low now.
I sound low because I turned my
Yeah, yeah. Just yeah. Turn it up, Star. Yeah, like we gonna work through it.
Okay. What about
Yeah, yeah. Keep turning it up if you can.
okay, I turned it back up.
Yeah,
Oh,
we definitely hear you now.
I think that's better. I feel like I turned the reverb like way down and then turned my mic volume. Hopefully that works. But
Yeah,
if that, guys, y'all just gotta bear with me, you know what I'm saying? I'll figure it out. But anyway,
yeah.
yeah, I think, it was very disappointing. And I think that probably was, realistically, I think it was probably one of CD's worst games as a pro. Um,
Um,
and it's disappointing, it's disheartening because it's like we've been having to deal with this type of attitude since your rookie year. And it's like you're a made man now,
right,
the second highest paid. And this doesn't have nothing to do with being paid. What I'm just trying to say is, I'm not saying, oh, you paid so you're supposed to be perfect. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, it's like, bruh, you you supposed to have been grown at it. Like completely sulking and pouting to where you can't even be effective. You can't even catch simple slants without fumbling. Like
next.
it's not acceptable. And I do, and I appreciate CD did apologize and said that's not him and stuff like that. But it's like, CD, it is you because you've done it multiple times. You've been doing it, like I said, since your rookie year. So it's just like, when are we gonna be able to stop it? Because I'm tired of being the big game and then Jack's number one wide receiver is ineffective because he's mad that he's just not getting the ball every play. I don't know. He's mad that he can't. I don't know what the hell CDB so mad about.
Right.
Because Dak targets him more than he targets. Dak targets CD. Period. Like you
He was
can't.
literally force feeding him. Like he was literally force feeding him. Like, and not just this past game, but the last few weeks.
Exactly. Like Dak always force feeds him, bro. So it's like I don't know what he be complaining about. And then it's like you can't even simply do. It's like that. What example does that show for the young wide receivers? And then the fact
Exactly.
young and then the fact that the young you got the young wide receivers catching fire over you, dog. Like that's not good.
Right. Right.
I'm proud of the young wide receivers. I'm very, very proud of the young wide receivers because I mean each and every one of them really stepped up. They
Right.
really, really, really stepped up, and I think this game it looked bad when you were watching it live. And then when you watch the all 22, now there is a position group that I am deeply and gravely concerned about, but when you look at the totality of the game, I think this team finally realized how to not lay down because versus Green Bay, we laid down.
Right.
Versus San Fran, we laid down. Versus Buffalo, we laid down. Versus the Saints, we laid down. And you know what? It felt like versus the Ravens, even though the score was what 6-21 at half or six, yeah, it was 6-21 at half because they only scored one
Yeah.
touchdown at the second half. But even though that was the score, uh, right, we still was able to make. We only lost by 3 points.
Right.
And this is what the teams were. Nobody was playing prevent defense. Lamar and them were trying to keep to the scheme, but we began to stop it. We began to stop it. So they started to punt the ball, and that's what you want to see. Yeah, things were out of control, but y'all didn't let it be out of control the whole game like you did versus Buffalo, like you did versus Green Bay.
Right.
Right? Okay, let's figure it out. Let's calm down. Good night, Jameson. You have a good one. But let's
Have a
calm
good
down
one, Jameson.
out and let's just do our freaking assignments and let's see what we can do. And Dak had said I had posted it on Twitter where he was saying like they were like, well, what do you say to CD? And he was like, I tell him don't dwell because he was like, if which means he's like, don't dwell, don't sit and I made a bad play. So now you were letting that bad play, or you're letting that missed catch. Now you're letting it affect your entire ability to perform, and that's not what
Right.
we do. That's not what Hall of Famers do. That's not what the greats do. The greats fight to the end, and so I do
Right.
feel like this team finally got it and finally realized. And I'll say this too about the defense. We were getting attacked. Most of the run yards, you go back and look at it, most of the run yards did not come up the middle. It came from QB options because we could
Yeah.
see. And that's what there's been a big, that's what I was trying to finish out earlier. I think I got distracted by the mic issue. But, people are saying, is it a gap exchange or not a gap exchange, but something basically because we're watching on film and we're like, why are all the DNs crashing in? Because all the DNs, Micah, D Law, Mark, it doesn't matter who was out there. All of them was crashing inside, and then they'll be like, oh, and then sprint outside after Lamar's already got 10 to 15
Right. Right.
yards. So, but I'm like, clearly they're being coached that way because I can't see everybody doing it. So I don't know what that was about, but we still got to figure out a better way to defend that because you're going to be facing Daniel Jones. He's a running quarterback. If you face Jalen Hurd, that's a running quarterback. Then you face Jaden Daniels, that's another running quarterback. So it's like things that we need to figure out and we need to fix. But I think what you can take from that Ravens loss is that this team figured out how to not quit. They figured
That
out.
is
Yeah, go ahead.
no. I was gonna piggyback off what you said. That's huge because I mean that's something that's really been an issue. I mean, people make jokes about it, but I mean it's for real. Like we talk about when they get behind, when the opponent scores first, it's a good chance that the Dallas Cowboys lose a game. I mean, when they kind of get slapped in the mouth, we start seeing the wide eyes. We start seeing Micah sitting back, on the bench, arms up, just okay. Well, D Law sitting back, chilling, like no one talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? Just solemn faces. You know what I mean? And you get that for the what depending on when they get behind the next 2 quarters until the game's over. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, to be able to see that fight, like we talked about, I think it was versus the Saints. When they were behind, we saw Micah still trying to get the teammates pumped up. Talking to the coaches, talking to the veterans, a young guy trying to still keep them involved in the game, like not losing. Like you spoke about earlier with Dak's point, not dwelling, just moving on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's of course we hear about football being 90% mental and 10% physical. Well, like you said, if you're dwelling, you're still thinking about that last play. You're not giving that 100% to the next play. You're not giving that a 100% and preparing for the next week. You're not 100% focused on maybe on the film that you're watching because you're, oh man, I'm still thinking about that. That my behavior from last game. I'm still thinking about my, that play I messed up. You know what I mean? So, what I'm saying, and I know we always talk about penalties. I'm saying that's a huge thing that we're still facing for whatever on the first drive. Star. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing because we've seen these teams with a lot of penalties. I don't know if it's the ref because Ravens have been having crazy penalties. What I mean, Chiefs, get caught with penalties, and not just calling the Chiefs because of the whole thing going on, but we see multiple teams with a lot of penalties. So I don't know if it's more so on the official just in general, but because really you can't use that excuse because the Ravens had more penalties than we did. You know what I'm saying? So you can call it a setback, but
It was a
you know what I'm
setback, but
saying?
even with those penalties, I feel like if the defense doesn't allow any points in the second half, you win that game. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so uh, the penalties are out of control on the offensive side of the ball. I will say on the defensive side of the ball, I don't think we've had any penalties, and that shows tremendous growth because we know under Dan Quinn, the defense was the culprit. You feel me? So, but now we got. I mean, I think it's just a lot of, and we can talk about that. We can talk about the offensive line. I'm gravely concerned about the offense. I'm gravely, gravely concerned because
Yeah.
this is 2 years in a row where we have just no idea. And it's like when I'm talking about run blocking. And it's like last year, I feel like we got better at pass blocking, but now I feel like we've regressed. And I think we've regressed because Steele is not playing well. I don't know what's up with him, but these past two games have been terrible.
Yeah.
You got a rookie Tyler Guyton. He's going to be taking his lumps over there. And so those are issues. But when you talk about our inability, no lie, I think we may be the worst run blocking offensive line in the league. Like, I wish I was lying, but we are bad. Like, I see the Panthers run blocking better. Like, you can see it. Go look at. It's like we cannot run block at all, and it's like there's nothing that we can do. It's like we can't duo block. We can't inside zone. We can't outside zone. We can't
Right.
trap. It's like nothing is working with these guys, and I'm like, we
Right.
got
And
talent
hardly
on
any
the.
screens. Hardly any screens.
We run no screens, and it seems like we're better out in space. But it's like, dude, y'all got to be able to run block simple concept, and we cannot do it. We cannot execute, and it's like I don't know what it is about our running scheme, but we are constantly leaving the whole linebacking core and the run what's it called, run help safeties like the strong safety and stuff like that. They're just running around free. That's a lot of the reasons why we can't. And this was an issue last year. It's like, have y'all put nothing into? It's like I feel like we're just not even practicing when it comes to the running with run blocking, pass blocking. I just feel like what are we? So, Coach Solari, you're on the hot seat. You're on the hot seat because, bruh, we have a Hall of Famer, and I know Zach Martin is not at all what he used to be.
Right.
He's not. But Zach Martin is still at least a top 15 guard in the league. So he's a Hall of Famer. So we have a Hall of Famer. We have an All Pro. We have what used to be one of the best run blocking tackles in the league. And
Right.
and I'm like, why is he taking a? I could understand like struggling in pass pro because that was never his stream. But it's like you're not even dominating in the run game like you used to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And it's like all of our guys train with Duke, the great Duke Manyweather.
And that was the battery in our back this offseason, right, Star? I mean, that was something we hadn't even seen from Zach Martin in previous years, right? I mean, like I said, seeing him going to work because, he was adamant about his position, staying, in his position. And for all the guys to be working with Duke Manyweather, we thought that would kind of get them on the same page. But like you
Like
said, we're just trying to figure out where the disconnect lies. That all of these guys seem to be, they're all working with Duke Manyweather. In the second year should be the second year of scheme as far as Schottenheimer and I forget the guy's name they brought from Boston College, but they're trying to create a run scheme and working with Mike McCarthy.
that's what we thought, but it's like the O line was all going into this season. We're like, this should be a strength.
Right.
and they are looking like, again, I said, the worst run blocking group in the league. I just really don't know what's going on with them. But
Right.
Coach Ari, Brian Schottenheimer, all of you ninjas is on the hot seat because what's going on? All right, we have too much talent for these guys not to be able to execute. Something is
Absolutely.
going on in the coaching, in the teaching, in the fundamentals, in the reps. I don't know, but it's not working. And even Tyler Smith looked bad this past. He looked very bad. I don't know what's going on, but when it looks like, I think Boss Cowboy says he's like, yeah, when it's one player, you blame the play. When it's, maybe
Right.
two players, you blame the players. But when it's the whole group, bro, you gotta blame the coach.
Absolutely.
Not adding up, and I'm sick of Mike McCarthy, Schottenheimer not taking the shit serious. Because again, this is 2 seasons in a row that that it feels like so hard for us to run block, but when you look at every other team, it doesn't look hard. It doesn't look hard at all with less talent.
No, I definitely agree with you. I mean, they kind of had I don't want to say excuses, but bailouts, right? I mean, last year it was because the run game coordinator, running backs coach was out, right, for the first part of the season, so they were trying to put some things together. And even when he returned, we were kind of like, something's still a little bit off. You know what I'm saying, right? But we were talking about Tony Pollard, coming back from injury. Rico wasn't getting the opportunities. Rico wasn't that effective as RB2. Deuce wasn't getting the opportunities, but Licky was doing things here and there. We were still questioning it, and even coming into this season, now it's running back by committee. Okay, well, McCarthy is like you mentioned earlier, randomly just putting new guys, putting new guys in on different snaps. We talked about it last week. Rico coming in for a little bit, then Deuce. We see Zeke week 1, but then we don't see him. The last 2 weeks. It's just like there's no way. And even Rico, when the running back, he doesn't blatantly say it, but he's like, "Yo, if we can't create a rhythm, we can't get anything going."
Exactly, and I know, and Mike McCarthy keeps saying, "Oh, it's because we don't have enough of him." Shut up, Mike McCarthy. Because one, you're in control of the attempt, big dog. Number two, the attempt is not going to fix these guys not being able to run simple running speed.
Right.
Like the attempt is not going to save it. You need to figure it out, and the reason why you're getting away from it, Mike, is because it's stuck and it's not effective. So you feel like if I call running play, it's a wasted play. So you're going away from it. So stop lying and say, "Oh, we just haven't had enough. We just haven't had another." No, it's not. No. Like, you need to take the running game seriously. It's like, you know that you need the running game, especially in the playoffs. We saw it. And it's like, are you just going to sit here and not fix it all year? It's like, it's ridiculous. This stuff should have been fixed in the off season. That's why I'm not understanding what exactly is going on.
Exactly. Because I mean, you drafted I guess what was supposed to be Mike McCarthy's choice last year in the tight end in round 2, right? You put crazy money into a undrafted tight end. And I know
you get Cooper Beebe, you get Tyler Guyton and stuff like you it look like you're really trying to form this power run scheme. We're gonna push people off the ball, but it's like these guys. I'm behind you, one away from 300. Thanks, brother.
Let's go, y'all. Come on, y'all. Share the content, y'all. We are 1 subscriber away. Come on, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the share button, please. Help us out, y'all. 1 more subscriber.
Please help me, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. It's like, this is the type of stuff this should have been fixed. It should have been fixed. Like,
I definitely agree with you. I mean, even when I was at training camp, seeing those, I was seeing tight end packages where he had. Granted, I know they can put in the personnel that they want, but you have 4 tight ends at the goal line. Watching some of the film of the Giants, I think they have 2 tight ends that they use in 12 personnel who they don't get a ton of pass catch opportunities, but you've seen them line up in these formation. It's like, and Singletary isn't an all world back. Of course we saw the Kamaras, we saw the Henrys. You feel what I'm saying? Granted, we saw Ford, but they didn't have Chubb, so we didn't exactly see. But when you use the tight ends, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes a difference. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Ravens, they didn't always use tight ends, but they had some blockers out there when they were kept running to the right, when they kept running to the left. They picked up those blocks to be able to gain those few yards.
Exactly. Like, their team knew how to execute their run plays, but it's like with us, we don't know how to execute anything. And it's like you got all these blocking tight ends, right? You got like I said, the offensive line. Then you went and you got Zeke, and then so you painted this picture like this. You're trying to be a smash mouth football team, and then you be running 12. You be running 12 personnel, 22 personnel. You go out there with it could be, I think, 13 personnel with one back and 3 tight ends. Like, but bruh, that's not going to work consistently. Now, I think we have found something with Hunter Lipke. I don't know. I think Hunter Lipke, he's about to have his breakout season, because that guy is, he's
like
he's looking different this season. I don't know what's going on, but he looks different. But bro, we still need to be able to run the ball. Why every other team can run the ball somewhat consistently, and you don't see their offensive line just looking like a jumbled mess? That's what our offensive line looks like from a jumbled mess. Like,
right.
Giddy idea where they're going, what they're
It's a blob, right? You feel me? Like, it just seems like the guys, like you said, they're just getting off the line, going up the block, and then they're
to get to the second level. Like,
none.
what is really going? I'm not really understanding. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't keep telling us, "Oh, it's just the attempts and all of this type of stuff." It's like, Mike, y'all are not putting the work into it to fix this shit, because you have too talent on your offensive line for them to look like this.
No, I definitely agree with you. Especially I saw someone mention it when I was going through putting the comments up. Because it's something I was actually, here it goes. Something I was thinking of, kind of watching some of the Giants film. Like, this has to be. At first, it was like, this could be a game where we gotta get the run game going. This absolutely has to be the game that we get this run game going, Star. Because like you mentioned, and something you pointed out earlier, like you said, we're gonna need it in the playoffs, right? Like, well, we saw our schedule. Mike McCarthy was all about talking about it. Yeah, we saw who we were playing, back in the offseason. We saw we had the AFC North. We started planning. Okay, well, you knew you were facing these stout defensive lines. So, of course, it was a chance that you were going to come in, whether running back by committee or not. You knew you were going to come in facing these tough defensive lines. So, yeah, we may not have been able to, get our feet on the ground as far as the run game going, but. And actually, surprisingly, just kind of looking at some of the games that the Giants has played, just kind of I guess segueing into some of the talking about some of the Giants. They played Washington, played the Browns in the first week. They played the Vikings. Well, what I'm noticing, Star, is that, and we stout defensive line aside, because we know about the Dexter Lawrence, we know about Thibodeau, we know about the linebackers as well. Brian Burns, McFadden also shows up. A guy over there that shows up from time to time. Well, these guys have allowed Washington, first of all, they had over 100 yards rushing in the first half. You know what I'm saying? And the Vikings, of course, we know they have Aaron Jones, but they had over 100 yards as well.
Yeah, I heard that the Giants cannot stop the run. So this is definitely, and I will say this: the Ravens are the best run defense team in the league. And when I was studying them, when I put out my video on Saturday before the game, I said, "Oh, I see what the type of team this is." They're a team that they are you can't run on them. You can't really run like end around and screens, and they're pretty much built to stop like San Fran offense. That's why Roquan Smith said, "Yeah, we tired of the Mickey Mouse stuff. We tired of the Mickey Mouse."
Right.
They think that type of like screens and we're gonna do end arounds, we're gonna do trick plays and run the ball. They're like, that's not gonna work on us, and it doesn't, because when you look at if the Chiefs couldn't run on them, and who else did they play? The Raiders couldn't run on them, bruh.
Right.
offensive line. We sure could not run on them. So
Heck, and what the Raiders had like 27 rush yards,
they limited the Raiders to like virtually nothing.
bruh.
I so they limited him to like 40, 50 yards. Like they don't play around. Like you're not gonna. They don't care. Clearly, you can see they get shredded
Right.
through the air, but that's fine. Like they're not gonna get destroyed on the ground. Like their whole defense is built to stop the run, stop quick. You know, like I said, in the round, the Mickey Mouse team, what they call it, the Kyle Shanahan team. That's what they're built to stop. So,
Right.
and then they have that pass rush that kind of makes up for their back end not being great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how they're built. So we was never realistically going to get the run game going against that because again, nobody runs on the Ravens. Like nobody runs on them. So,
Right.
but this, to your point, is this would be a good game to go ahead and see if we can get some things going because we definitely need to get a feel. And what do you think about this? I feel like this coaching staff, I don't think that they value Zeke like at all.
You know,
2 weeks in a row, like I feel like he's being phased out. And Mike McCarthy was asked about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's just the way it went."
especially when they brought him back.
Right when we literally saw, like they were giving Hunter Lupi like all of the carries. Like Hunter Lupi was in the backfield a lot, pass blocking. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, oh. And then it was awkward because last week the media was like, Zeke, so what did y'all talk about in the meeting? Da, 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 da. And he was like, meeting. And they were like, yeah. He's like, what meeting? They were like, the leadership council. He's like, not on the leadership council. They were like,
Bro, are you serious? And
leadership council,
what?
like, oh,
No, cause I hadn't heard. I really don't be listening. No offense to Zeke, but I ain't gonna lie. We were kind of out there at camp. He wasn't really asking a lot of questions, so I don't listen to a lot of the interviews. Just keeping it real. Only way I know is just keeping it real. But so I haven't really had listened to a lot of his interviews, but I didn't know he said that.
yeah, like they literally asked him. Nobody's talking about it, but that man is not on the leadership council. And I'm like, how do you not have Elliott on the leadership council?
Yeah, that is kind of odd. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't expect that either. And like you mentioned, with him being kind of phased out the last couple of weeks, like especially, and it's not like he came out week one, like what 20, 15, 20 yards. Like he came out with some juice. You know what I mean? So to have a decent week one and
he gets like 4 yards a pop, so he was averaging 4 yards a pop. So
right,
but for him not to be on the leadership council, who was a cornerstone of this team all but 1 year, and
right,
y'all don't respect him enough to put him on the leadership council,
right.
it's weird. And it's like there's
Yeah.
nobody in the running back room that has more tenure or anything like that than Zeke. So to me, I feel like the coaching staff, y'all must have not wanted Zeke back. That must have been a Jerry and Steven thing, and like y'all are like, he's here, but we don't give a damn. We don't care.
Right, like every other running back in that room.
Granted, it's only been 3 weeks, and we'll see.
Yeah.
See if they get him more involved. But look at how they've been doing it. Like the first game, Zeke started. Ever since then, it's been Rico and Deuce.
Yeah.
Deuce to Hunter, like, and then they'll just throw Zeke in there for 1 or 2 carries. But I feel like he's got. And now, granted, when you have Hunter Lipke, who can pass block and who's basically a tight end as well,
All right.
and who can run the ball,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
do we need Zeke for? But I don't know. I just feel like
I think it's all just like kind of like a summation of the offseason, right? I mean, like you just mentioned, Jerry. I'll say Jerry because I don't even know if Steven, really wanted Zeke back like that. But Jerry, seemed to want him sign him back. I'm saying like, that's his guy. They wanted to go cheap, but there were other running backs out there that were cheap. So you didn't necessarily. I think partly, in my opinion, And I'm happy to see it. I'm shout to Zeke. Give him his flowers. He definitely gave a lot to the organization, and I think they probably brought him back to kind of so that he could retire as a Cowboy. And like I said, I'm all for our greats retiring as Cowboys. That's one thing that I hate to see, that our greats, or guys who have contributed so much to the organization, like a Tyron Smith, go off to the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Tony. I think Tony Romo ended up just bowing out, but I think he ended up retiring Cowboy. But there's not a lot of greats. With DeMarcus Ware, ended up putting all this Broncos, memorabilia in his Hall of Fame, and that's one thing I was like, bruh. And I understand, you have your choice of putting whatever you want. It's you're Hall of Fame. But I'm like, no Cowboy stuff, bro. So I'm just like, bro, like, it's just it does something as a fan. You just want to see your greats retire as a Cowboy. So yeah, I want to give Zeke all his flowers, but it's like, man, like you said, him being phased out, and like you said, maybe McCarthy does feel away. Like, I mean, like we talk about, him having to deal with the things that Jerry, or other things that Jerry brings down on him. Maybe, like you said, maybe he was forced. They brought Zeke back under Jerry's volition, and McCarthy's like, okay, well, yeah, he's gonna be in this room, but I'm still going by committee. But even going by committee, like, you don't still involve it. And my first thought was like, maybe they were leaving him out because they wanted to leave him for the red zone. I know they weren't really reaching the red zone like that, but
right, like,
you guys got to the red zone.
We used him week 1 in the red zone. Zeke scored immediately, and since then they have not used Zeke in the red zone anymore. They don't use him at all in the red zone. Like, he's literally just riding the bench. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna have Zeke riding the bench, then why don't y'all just release him and allow Dalvin Cook to take up his roster spot? Like, I really don't understand it, because it's like, Mike, okay, maybe you're forced, but you can still utilize them.
Like, exactly. And that's why I was so baffled when they brought in Dalvin Cook, because not saying they're the same back, but you already have a veteran running back on your squad. You gonna get another one?
Like, and I don't know. I really don't know, but it feels like Mike McCarthy, I'm really not trusting you right now, to be quite honest, because I feel like you are not taking everything, not just the running game, the passing game as well. Like, bro, why did it take you to the fourth? Well, you know what? It's because Dak was calling the plays. That's another thing. I think it's time to allow Dak to have control of the offense, because Mike McCarthy, them plays that you was calling the first 3 quarters, verticals and curls, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Right. I don't know if you got a want button over there, but it's like, bro, like, it's third quarter, you still calling.
We got a
idiot. Yeah.
Like, just stupid. Like, just stop doing stupid stuff, Mike McCarthy. Like,
right.
And Tom Brady was saying it. He was like, bruh, he said Mike McCarthy has been putting out these verticals all game. He said it hasn't worked. Like, I would like to see him go to some type of more horizontal route. The very next time we do a horizontal route, it gets a huge game.
And fans, other fans, content creators talk about how they can use Brandon Cooks. I don't mean cut you off, but how they can use Brandon Cooks, and just like you said, use them on crosser routes, get them going down the field. They can create the separation, or they can create this quick situation, or you can scheme them open,
like get them on the run, and that's supposed to be the whole point. The reason why we were so excited for the West Coast is because that's what the West Coast is. It's horizontal routes. It's throwing the ball on the run. It's not the Air Coryell system that we were under with Kellen Moore, where it's a down the field attack. Like, come on, bruh. Like, we have a lot of yak players. We don't have a true XY receiver right now, but you want to keep throwing verticals to Brandon Cook. Like, how many times you need to see that Brandon Cook is not that deep sideline vertical type of guy?
Right.
And it doesn't mean he's not good. That's just not what he's best at. He's best at these crossers. He's best at drags, digs. Like, why every time we throw the ball to Brandon Cook, it's like he's running a stop route.
Right. And the guy's always getting there before or right when he catches the ball. Like to your point, like you just mentioned, the yak opportunities are just not there.
Exactly. And our guys, we have a roster full of yak guys. but you're not even
Literally.
doing nothing. You're like Mike McCarthy. I need you to wake the hell up because I don't know what Mike McCarthy's doing, but it's like, are you trying to get fired? Like, do you even want to be here? Because
Right.
you have the concept. Because when Dak was calling the plays, we was calling the concept. But with you,
Right.
I just
And they
don't.
even admitted, him and Schottenheimer even admitted at the bye week last season, quote unquote, stealing from other teams, involving motion, looking around the league and seeing what was working and involving it in our offense. Period. I mean, Schottenheimer pretty much came out and said it. Like, I don't understand why you had that experience from last season, and it's
And
like
right,
you just said, like you asked to call plays, right? You asked for Kellen Moore to get going, all this. You made this whole ruckus. You know what I'm saying? And now you have the reins for your actual first year, really. Like him, he said it. Dak said it. We ain't got to worry about installing. Like, we can just go out there and play football. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that. This is the stuff you talk about. You just go out and play. Like, granted, talking about,
yeah, it's
bro, it's like, come on, like, it's just stale. And like you said, like you mentioned, like
still
almost besides Jake Ferguson even going down for the scene, but even then he caught the ball and was tackled almost immediately. So it's like Schoonmaker goes out to the flats, his well-known play. You know what I'm saying? Even Turpin, I think he maybe caught. I think he went on the crosser maybe the first week or second week. I think he dropped the ball, but I think that maybe these few opportunities we see these guys going across the middle of the field, and the other time, like you said, it's to the sidelines.
right. And shout out to Big Stars. He said they're good for the curl. I do think that we do, and I said that after reviewing the All 22 that we do need a true X wide receiver because that was one of Dak's favorite throws. When we had Michael Gallup,
Right.
love throwing that deep sideline throw, and that's a big play. That's a play where it really like ignites the offense and gets it going, and you can see Dak's always trying to go to
Facts.
get a spark. But Brandon Cooks cannot track it, so it's like we gotta find somebody else that can actually do it and stop using Brandon Cooks that way. That's not
Right.
he's not an X-wide receiver. He is a little guy, just like Turpin, just like Deuce. Like that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of guys that are yet that
Right.
you want to get on the move because they can make men miss in space with speed, with just simple yak abilities like Jake Ferguson, like CeeDee Lamb. And so it's like why it's too predictable. It's like how long is our first play of every game going to be roll out boot? Like everybody knows that, bruh. Roll out boot. Okay, now we're going to empty slant to CD. It's like, bruh, everybody knows the plays you're running. This was the same shit we had issues with Kellen Moore. And like I said, clearly we have the concept, but Mike, you're not calling it. You're not
Facts.
calling it. Then another thing is with Michael Carter is like, if you're not going to put effort into the run game, then your passing game to me should be off the chain. It should be amazing. But yet you being stagnant, you're not calling motion again. It's like it feels like what exactly did y'all do this on? What have we actually built on? Because your offense seems to have been starting off lower.
Right. Even right.
Here, but it feels like lower.
Right.
Like your quarterback and your number one wide receiver, like everybody's stats are way down. Everybody's not looking good, and that
Right.
shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. So, I really do have some concerns. Hopefully, versus these Giants, we can turn it around. And I'm glad that we are going into this game hungry, and starving for a win, because then I know we'll take it serious.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like you said, like having that deep threat, and I tweeted out. I don't know if it was last year or maybe during preseason where, it might have been during preseason where I think Brooks caught that downfield pass by Cooper Rush, right? We're talking about an ex receiver. A big catch to number one get the players going, but get the crowd going. And we saw Brooks, we saw Flournoy, right? And we're kind of we were kind of calling for Brooks before.
Right, they both have that ability, but we haven't really been using. We haven't even activated Flournoy, and then Brooks is like we haven't really used him on let's see if we can get a spark from him, because
Right.
Dak likes to throw the deep ball to his left. So it's like, let's see if we can get something going. You got to put somebody else over there, Mike. Stop putting Brandon Cooks over there.
Yeah.
Stop his work. Stop putting him over there. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about with Mike McCarthy. Like, you're not really making. I don't know, man. You're making me think. Has this game passed you by? And if so, like I said, just give that so that we
Right.
can move the ball and we can score, so that we can stop. Uh, and granted, I do think the way our offense started off slow. Even though we've taken L's, I do feel like it's a blessing in disguise because it's forcing the defense to step up. It
Right.
is forcing the defense to practice the fundamentals and really figure out how to stop the run. I feel like that's what a lot of people are not talking about.
Yeah.
Like the fact that now it's like, oh, we can't stop the run, we can't stop the run. Like that's being a focus, and so now every team is running the ball, gonna have a run the ball game plan, and then you could see like I saw it on film. Like this defense is coming. It's coming. I know, but just look at the guys. I know they did give up a touchdown, but giving up one touchdown and a half is a big deal.
Correct. And I'm actually glad you said that because last week I know, Giants beat the Browns 21-15, but the Giants scored those 21 points in the first half.
Right.
They didn't score no.
Nope.
And what Cowboys are a second half team, right?
That's a good point, sis. Like the Giants scored that in the first half, and in the second half it was locked down. So now that you know, and if we could just get the people on your defense to stop playing hero ball, Donovan Wilson, we could be a lot better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did see on them, I did see guys. I saw the linebackers flow to the ball. I saw the defensive tackles. Were they perfect? No, but there were a lot of plays. Y'all go watch my film review on Mozzie. Yeah, he had about six, maybe seven bad plays compared to like 20 plus good plays. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the defensive tackles, I look, and not just Mozzie. I mean, Osa, Linville Joseph, Carlos Watkins. Like, if these guys can just, what we're trying to work on as a defense is just continuing to be consistent. But I really was encouraged seeing the way that we was flowing to the ball, the technique, making sure we were tackling Henry low so that we weren't missing a lot of tackles. Just really pursuing. Like Eric Kendricks, wow. I mean, y'all go back and watch Eric Kendricks. He was playing lights out. And because first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I don't know, like, are you really a dog, Eric Kendricks? That last game versus the Saints, I was like, ooh, he looking bad, but he said shut up. He shut
Right.
me up. He shut me up. So I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? That's what I needed to see. Like, if you don't want people talking crap about you, step up. And so I definitely saw that with him. I definitely saw the linebackers communicate and getting in right position and stuff like that. So I know we're mad about the L, but I do think that growth and progress was made. Again, I know people will look at the box score. We gave up 275, and it's like, yeah, but if you watch the all 22, you're gonna be like, where did it even come from? Because it did not seem like we were getting gashed, and it was just
Right.
couple of big plays from.
Yeah, it worked. It was just, I mean, I think if anything, we saw a lot of reaching, right? Like guys were in the right spot. It's just maybe off by a second or two, or made the wrong move, going left versus right. Like I mentioned even last week, Kendricks, reaching by Kendricks, even reaching from Parsons. I mean, Parsons had a great game. Even a couple times, Henry got by him, Lamar got by him. So like you said, like, it's early in the season, and sometimes it just. Zimmer's only been here, right, for one off season, quote unquote, because he got here, when they were going through early mini camps and things like that. So he's just going to need the time, to get his hands on these guys, and the guys are going to need time to be able to just relay. I mean, it's been said multiple times. I mean, Kendricks even alluded to it when he first got here that the defense is not easy. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to be able to stick to your job. And even Phillips said, the guys up front maintain the blocks, the linebackers come up and eat, and the secondary remains in waiting for the turnover, or just be able to play contain and come up and make sure that they keep the guys in front of them. So And these
Right,
guys just had to adjust to their jobs and learn that. I mean,
right. You
like
gotta
Star said, it's a learning experience, right? You're gonna have to learn. Sometimes you need a wake up call. When you touch something hot, right? That's the wake up call. When your parents, you touch something you're supposed to touch, your parents pat your hand. That's the wake up call, right? So sometimes you need your butt kicked. You need to be beat. You need to give up 250 yards of rushing yards to
right,
know, okay, I got to believe in this defense. I got to know that I got to be in my spot. Hey, Parsons, you right, bro. If I was in my spot, if I just filled the gap like I was supposed to, you right, I would have had to do. I wouldn't have gave it the 15 yards. I wouldn't have missed that tackle. I wouldn't have. It just starts to come together when these guys start to realize that the details, like Jordan Lewis did said, like Kendrick said, like Parsons says, the details, just those couple of inches, just that wrong move to the right versus going to the left. Those quote unquote details, they absolutely matter because those couple of seconds can turn into a 50, 60 yard touchdown, as we can see. Now, I
exactly.
know it was Henry, but it can happen with any running back who
It
gets that,
happened
who
like
gets all these running backs can do a move on you. You know what I'm saying?
exactly because this defense is not a freestyle defense, and I think like the guys are just trying to get it down and just be consistent because that's what it is. But I saw the guys playing together as a team, and again, there's a lot of you know we got to figure out the option play. I don't know because traditionally you're supposed to contain the quarterback. But there's people saying no because you couldn't do that against Lamar because he's fast. So your linebacker was supposed. I don't know, but all I know is you need to figure it out because we were
Right.
getting destroyed on the edges. Yes, there were two big runs up the middle, but that was about it. So when it comes to read option plays and stuff like that, it's as simple as we got to set the keys up right because it was so easy for Lamar to just keep pulling the ball and running it because the DNs just kept clearly crashing down. So I was like,
Right.
whatever, they need to figure it out. They gotta be able to figure it out. As far as Bland's recovery, yeah, he can return to practice next week.
Nice. Yeah, they say he's out on the court this past week. So they said when there's a sighting, you guys, I mean, just he's getting close to coming back. So that's definitely good news.
So he's definitely getting close to coming back. I'm not sure, like if he's
Yeah,
gonna.
I mean, I wouldn't even be sure. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Kalen is down on a short week, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't have imagined them bringing Bland back until after the bye week. But I hope they don't rush him. You still need to rush him. You have Andrew Booth. You even have. I tweeted out earlier. You still even have Keemon Hall. I tweeted out. I would even rather have Keemon Hall by having Booth, but I understand
I have
the hierarchy. But oh
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah, go ahead.
did have Andrew Booth. I'm like, would he be in over Izzy? I'm like, what the hell has Izzy done to this coaching staff? Because he said, I don't really get it.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, there's
yeah,
no reason Izzy is a 4-year player drafted here. There's
right.
zero,
And you got them on the roster.
right. There's zero reason that some rando Andrew Booth that we just traded for should get on the field before. So I'm not, and people are like, well, Izzy can't play outside corner. I'm like, yeah, he can. That's his true position. His true position is
Right. We saw it in preseason. It's not like not like they shouldn't know. We literally saw it in preseason.
exactly. And people focusing on one bad play that he had. Like, come on, guys. Like,
Right. Vice Andrew Booth, who had more than one bad play, and it was the same type of play where he missed a 20-yard bomb. Like, come on now.
they
And you want that against who we're about to face neighbors? Really?
he's gonna get cooked. He's gonna get cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want him out there. Like if anything, if you're gonna play Andrew Booth, then you need to put him in the slot, and I guess kick Jay Lou out. But
Right.
Andrew Booth on the island with Jalen Hyatt and Malik Neighbors is just a disaster.
Talk
And
about targeting. We thought they were targeting Carson last week, bro. Like they watched preseason too. They watched preseason too.
right, they're gonna target him all day long, dog. And it's like people are like, well, it's not like Izzy. I'm like, Izzy may not be as fast, but he's 6'4", and he has super oily hips. Like Izzy is a
Right.
corner. That's why we kept begging, like, please put him back at corner. He's not going to face it. He's a cornerback.
Right.
I just don't know why they would be playing Booth over him. I don't know. I don't know what Izzy did, but
Yeah.
everybody keeps saying it's gonna be Booth. So I feel like when they keep saying that, then it's definitely gonna be Booth. But It just makes
Yeah.
me sad for my guy Izzy because I'm like, this guy, he's never gonna see the field, bro. Like, and
Right.
that's the case. Like, why not just cut him? Like, cut him and allow him to go to another team. But because y'all not even trying.
Right. Like I just don't understand. And that's this isn't the first guy we're talking about who's. And I'm not even saying is he taking up a roster spot because we feel he should be playing, but you have
Right.
these guys who you're not utilizing. Deuce is getting one carry or 4 snaps in the game. Izzy not
Or
getting any, but these guys, Jalen Brooks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not gonna use because I know he had a bad game, but he's activated. But it's just you have these guys who are only 53. You know what I'm saying? But
you're
and you
not
let go of guys who it's just
exactly
I'm just saying you let go of guys who we could have used in these particular moments, and it's just
right.
like it's just if you're not going to use the guys that you decide to keep around, like you mentioned, Izzy has been here for years. He's not new. You know what I'm saying? He like you say knows the scheme, and like you said, obviously you brought him back for another year. Even this offseason, let me talk about in this offseason, he faced an injury. He missed practice for an injury. So if you were really out on this guy, like
You
why
could have
didn't you?
easily cut him.
You know what I'm saying? So like, why you go through all this to keep the guy, and then you still don't utilize him when we have two injuries at the cornerback spot,
Right, but
and
then
really half in the hope knock on wood, and Diggs is coming back from an injury. So
but like you not playing Wanye, you not playing Bill.
on
Like why
special teams though, and that's what kills me. Like these,
I was
I think that's where Izzy got his. I think that's where Marquise Bell got his injury.
it had to be because I'm like Marquise Bill was not playing on the defense. And it's like you got these guys who are dogs who are like 4'4", 4'3" guys with pass coverage range just sitting on the bench for Dono.
Right, right.
I don't know what's up with Dono, and I'm like, I thought this dude was like, I thought y'all said he was in the leadership meetings and all this bullshit, but I was like,
Talk about it.
he was in the leadership meetings. Like, why is he playing like this? Why is he playing hero ball?
Right.
He's the only one that's like really sticking out. Now, granted, you could argue the defensive ends the way that they just kept fighting,
Yeah.
going on the inside. But again, that could be a coaching thing. But
Yeah.
when you look at Dono, it's like you were the only one clearly playing.
Lost. Yeah, I mean, it's to your point. You said like, and I don't know if it was Marquise Bell who said it or Zimmer who said it, but like you said, like he voluntarily started going to the morning meeting. So it's like Zimmer said, "Yeah, I'm letting him know the why." Or it might have been Paul Gunther. 'Cause I think I watched Paul Gunther's coach availability, and I think he's the one who mentioned that it was also Wilson in the room next to with Malik Hooker with Micah Parsons. So it's like, bro, you voluntarily going to the meetings. You're meeting with Zimmer, and these are everyday meetings. You know what I'm saying? Zimmer says he meets with Micah every day. They have these meetings every day so they can let them know the why they're doing the things they need to do. And you're the one sticking out, the veteran.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you trying to get cut? Like, are you insecure? Like, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, I feel like you're just hurting yourself more and more. And I feel like I don't know if he feels like he can do whatever the hell he wants because he's like, oh, I'm a leader or whatever.
Right.
You cannot have that. Like Zimmer really needs to bench him. And it's like because you're the blinking light, bro. Like you're the blinking light that's standing out. Everybody wanted to trade you because they're like, you don't fit this team. And then you have a way to prove us wrong, and all you're doing is proving us right.
Literally.
Touchdown, I think, where what's his name?
Zay Flowers.
No, not Zay Flowers. It was Rashad Bateman.
Oh,
it was wide open. That was Dono's man.
man.
That was Dono's man.
I remember seeing that clip because they said that Trey had the left side of the field, so just cover your middle, man. Just cover the middle of the field, bro.
Trey had the left side of the field. Lamar was scrambling to his right. And you trying to do Trey's job and left somebody wide the F open in the middle of the end zone. Like, what are you doing?
It's just crazy because
literally, I'm counting 2 touchdowns on Donovan Wilson. 2. So that means instead of your score being 28, it could have been 25.
Bro,
with you giving up 2 touchdowns. You could even say 3 because you could have saved when that one play in the red zone when Monty got pushed at the gym. If you knew how to tackle, so really, bruh, 3 touchdowns. You had a big part in grief.
Man, and it's just like you said, like Zimmer got to see it, right? I mean, we saw Phillips play, right, against the Saints.
Like,
what I'm saying?
We need Dono to come up with an answer. He's in
yes.
Right? We need him to,
and not for real, Donna. We don't mean for real, but we need you to sit back a little bit because
I need some change. He's a liability. He's a liability.
Yeah, to have glaring holes like that, like and like you said, it's one thing if it's one or two plays here, but like you said, if you counting up 1, 2, 3 scores and possessions, what I'm saying, like, come on, bro, like we can't afford that because, like you said, going down the stretch against these teams when they finally do start to get things together and stack things and figure out who they are down the stretch, they're gonna find those weaknesses like we're doing now. We look at these opponents who we're gonna face and we find what they mess up on, the things that their tendencies that they call them, like those mistakes unfortunately stood out as like a tendency for Donald because we've seen mistakes from him before, and it's like, bro, you're the veteran. You shouldn't be loafing. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be spinning around a complete 360, bro. Like that just looks bad. It's a bad look. It's a bad look.
Very, very bad for somebody that calls him a leader. And I know when they look at the film, like, bruh, like you're getting. I know they have to be blasting you in the film.
Have to be. Should be.
That play, bro, with Lamar picked up that first down. You taking Mara's job. You was not supposed to follow the potential wide receiver doing the end around. But you thought you was gonna make the game saving play, so you played hero ball on it, tackle someone, Superman, someone who didn't even have the damn ball.
Oh, when I saw that play, I'm like, now when you watch it the first time back, it's like, oh man, look at that hit. That's what he's known for. But then you realize he ain't got the ball. It's like, okay, well, it's now, literally wasted. When they say wasted movement, literally.
That's what Michael was saying, Superman. Because, bro, you thought you was really safe in the game, and you just blew it.
Now, right. When they say, oh, you thought you ate, bro. No, like, no. The ball's over here, God. The ball's over here. We're not in the backfield no more. You know what I mean? It's like.
And I will say this, like, it's part of that play, and I do gotta go, but part of that play was I put the play really on Zimmer because I'm like, Zimmer, you knew they was gonna run the ball. You knew it. So please tell me go back and look at that front that Zimmer had to be. First of all, you had Micah inside of the tackle, standing next to Mozzie. It was like, what is going on? Mozzie ends up getting just down blocked, and Micah got double teamed. It's like Micah should not be. Zimmer had Micah with his hand in the dirt, inside the tackle, like he's playing defensive tackle. Like, why would you do that when you knew they was going to run the ball? So I put that play on Zimmer because it was just a bad front. But regardless, Dono, like, if you do your job, maybe you can help prevent Lamar from picking up that first down. So, it's just stuff like that where it's just like, bruh, eventually we're going to need to see some changes because you're just wasting. There's better talent on the bench.
Right. And we talked about that last year with it's not the same side of the ball, but with Chuma Edoga having like that mind lapse, against Miami and that ends up taking a sack. Those are the things that we don't need, specifically from veterans like a Chuma Edoga, if he ever does decide, if he ever does come back, because that was a whole bright spot of Chuma going down with Guyton starting as a rookie at the left tackle. We got Chuma coming back, but we haven't heard anything since then. So we that's something that these veterans, Zach Martin, I think missing a block, I think against the Saints and Dak, or I think it was on the Browns game where Dak ended up taking the sack. You know what I'm saying? These veterans have to be on their P's and Q's. They're supposed to be coaching up the younger guys who are supposed to be on their stuff. But if the veterans are whipping, like, it's one thing we have the two rookies on the line. You know what I'm saying, a rookie starting at cornerback. You know what I'm saying, getting targeted. So it's just. We need everybody to be on the same accord, the same page, and for these guys to just really step up their game. And as we kind of end the show, I just have this one more point on the Giants, where I think we can kind of take advantage. I think we can get some turnovers in this game as well, sis. I mean, the last three games, Daniel Jones had two interceptions versus the Vikings. I think they've had 5 to 6 fumbles. In these first 3 weeks of playing football. Singletary has gotten the ball punched out. I think against Washington and the Browns. So I think that's something that these guys can. I mean, these guys will come up and hit, right? Well, I think they should really attack the ball when it's in Singletaries. Or I think their backup running back is Tracy. I forget his last name right now. Well, he had a
think it's
fumble.
Tracy.
One more time.
I think it's Tyrone Tracy Jr.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. So it's Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, and he had fumbles as well. So three fumbles in the game by three individual players. I know it's early in the season, but that's mistakes, right? And still kind of early. So I think it's something else that we can capitalize. And we already talked about earlier against this Giants defense, getting the run game going. Getting these guys a rhythm, going. Going
Right.
with the running backs that you're sure you want to have in the game. Zeke, Rico, and I don't know if we're going to work with Deuce. Let's get Lipke involved. I mean, for me personally, right now, your running backs, Zeke, Lipke, and Rico. As we move forward, get some rhythm in this game. Do you have any? As we close out, appreciate everybody joining us. Hit the like button. I was just checking real quick on the phone. You're still at $2.99, sis, but I was hoping we get you to this, right when we hop up here. We're going to get to 300 by the time this night ends. Because we just need one more, y'all. We're gonna share this show after we close out here, so that my girl hit right. Yes, hit that 300 by the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? Before the game tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That way she can get this, do this giveaway, and you guys can possibly get $75 so you can get some, some snacks, some eateries maybe for the game tomorrow night.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm going after because I haven't really gotten to the Giants film. I'll probably watch some tonight or some tomorrow or earlier in the day. But what I'm gonna say is, this is a game that I don't take for granted. I mean, we're gonna go. This is a game where it's like we really should go in there and just try to execute our absolute best. Um,
Right.
we should take this game seriously. It's a division game. We done lost 2 games in a row, so we should just really go in here focused, and we should try to take full advantage of their flaws. One of their flaws is Daniel Jones. Now, I will say this with Daniel Jones, he tends to tighten it up against us because I think, like, especially
Yeah.
remember, like in 2022 when they were actually good, when they made the playoffs, like Daniel Jones was not effing up against us. So, I think he's gonna try to become. They're gonna try to run the ball. They're gonna probably try to do similar to what Lamar did because now he's not Lamar, but Daniel Jones is also really, really fast. He's not fast as Lamar, but he's fast. So they're probably gonna try to do some
Yeah.
QB options. I heard that it's supposed to be raining too, so they're probably gonna try to limit the passes and stuff like that. So this is gonna be a
Right.
good grimy, rainy, potential rainy game. And like this is a game where you
Yeah.
really are gonna have to run the ball and stuff like that. So I just hope that we can focus in. The team, everybody, we get blown out for if we lose to the Giants, we need to give up and all that stuff. No, I don't believe that because again, it is a division opponent. But I will say this: like we should not lose this game if we go in focus and do. If we build off of what we did in this, I think my guy David said it. He said, "Hopefully, we build off of what we did in the fourth quarter versus the Ravens. If we do that,
Yeah.
we should be good. We should be good because we know we have
Yeah.
more talent than them. When they're effing up,
Yeah.
then you can lose. Like everybody can lose. So
Yeah,
I think that's
I
my
definitely agree with you, and I think to your point about Daniel Jones. I mean, if we get into some third long situations, right now they have a third down conversion of 37%. So I think if we get him in some third long situations, I mean, like you mentioned with Daniel Jones trying to run, but he likes those those short runs. So yeah, if we get him in those third long situations, I think we can stop Singletary and Daniel Jones isn't even going to think twice about trying to run. On this front row. But thank you everybody for coming through and joining us. Some shout out, David coming through, James, Rico came through as well. Appreciate everybody who showed some love. Big Sarge, thank you for reminding me about the name Steve Shimko, the coach that's working with Schottenheimer with the run game. And we like I said earlier, and Swain, of course, my fave. Appreciate you coming through. I saw your notes earlier as well.
Appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. It'll be a long week because basically this is a mini bye week. We won't be playing
Yeah.
again next Sunday. So this is basically a mini bye week, but hopefully we can be talking next Wednesday about how we got to win and how we
Right.
can for Pittsburgh. I think
Yeah.
next. So yeah. So yeah, guys. Until next time, really appreciate y'all. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, I'm one away from
Yes.
100.
Yes.
Please like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. Star's about to do this about to do the giveaway before the game tomorrow, y'all. So make sure you keep your notifications on because she gonna hit that 300 tomorrow, y'all. Like, I already know. I already know. It's already done, sis. And actually, before we do got it here, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on there for you, so that way these guys, that way our followers can know where to subscribe, where to send information to, and how if you want to go ahead and explain before we get out of here.
Yeah, can you take our picture off the thing? Yeah. But yeah, guys, so I am giving away college football 25 or Madden 25 or $75 gift cards for those who do not play games like me. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. Send me a screenshot of proof that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel to the email on the screen. One subscription equals one entry. You can also get more entries by donating $5 or more to my Cash App. But I am capping the entries at 5 per person. You feel me? So it's like you can donate as much as you want, but nobody's going to be able to get more than 5 entries to have a chance to win those prizes. So please help me out. I really appreciate everybody. It's been a good run. I would hope if I don't get to doing the giveaway tomorrow, it'll definitely be by Friday that I will announce the winner. Hopefully, if I reach 300 by then, I will announce the winner by Friday.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, we're about to reach that 300 tomorrow before the game, y'all. Appreciate everybody coming through. Thanks for showing love. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your support. And we will catch y'all next week. See y'all.
Peace.